Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you my completed pages for September and October 2025. As you guys see in my bullet journal, I only had 4 pages in September and it wasn't worth making a video, so I combined the 2 months together. So let's get started. Because I combined 2 months together, I'm going to show you the pages in the order I colored them because it was September and Halloween. So for me, it's a little bit more logic if I do everything in order. If I am mentioning YouTube channels or body colors, everything you need to know will be down in the description box. Okay, so the first page I did was in Goblins in the Hollow by Denise Klett. I really love this book. And the page I did, it was actually a summer page, but I wasn't able to finish it at the end of August, so it was for September. So the background is completely done with Neocolor tools. This paper takes Neocolor tools very well. If you have this book or one of Denise Klett's book, this is amazing paper from Neocolor tools. Then I based everything with alcohol markers, as you see. And then I used polychromos on top of that, white gel pen for the bubbles, polychromos on top of it, and I used a gold glitter gel pen. That's it. And the gold glitter gel pen is actually on some accents on the fish and on the jewelry of the goblin. And I used a little bit of glossy accents on the glasses, just to give it a little bit of an extra. This was a color palette, but I don't think I have it anymore on my phone because it was 2 months ago and my memory was full, so I deleted a lot of things and I don't think I have the color palette. But this was a very fun page. So this was Goblins in the Hollow by Denise Klett. Then I did 1 page in my project book, Juwelenkistje by Hannah Carlson. I am trying to keep 1 Hannah Carlson book to complete eventually. I think it will last me 5 or 6 years. But if I am grabbing a Hannah Carlson book, it's always Juwelenkistje. I don't have all of her books because then I just don't know which page to choose. So this is the book I am focusing on, and I'm trying to do 1 or 2 pages a month. Going to cover this one. I think it's always so distracting. And I haven't posted this one on my Instagram yet, so I just saw. So this was a body color with Veronica. So Veronica contacted me to ask if she can color this book together with me. Of course you can. And I will put her page on the left side. So because she is a very quick colorist, it really pushes me to finish the page by the end of the month. A body color is actually, for me, something positive because then I finish it. And because I want to finish at least 1 page a month, I don't care if I have to push myself a little bit. That's when I get the pages done. Okay, so 1 second. The background is Neocolor tools. Then I based with water-based markers. So I think it was the Staedtler Pigment brush pens. I use those actually all the time. Then I used polychromos on top of that, and I used a yellow and a pink Tuli Art pastel pen. It was the yellow and pink. The yellow is over here, like in the dots of the flowers. And the pink is for the highlights on top of the butterflies and the, what is this, the color clothing, and some yellow dots in the background as well. And then I used a metallic gold pen and a gold glitter gel pen. Yes, I wanted to do like a metallic I didn't know what this was, but I wanted to do it like in a metallic, but because the metallic was not very opaque, I covered it on top of that with a glitter gel pen and of course a little bit on the jewelry. And on the frame I made myself on this page because I like a clean border, and the Neocolor tooth wasn't very crisp. So yeah, I tried that. I'm very happy with this page. So this was my page for September in my project book. This was Juwelenkistje by Hannah Carlson. Then I did a page in Mythographic Artist Vault, the collector's edition. And I did a page for Spacember. I marked them, if I am not mistaken. Yes, it's this one. This was the hamster page. So I saw a video of Elm Colors, and she uses a lot of reference pictures for coloring her page, and I wanted to give that a go. So this was my reference picture, and this was the page I chose for Spacember. Apparently I don't have a lot of space themed pages. You can always make something if you want, but actually with space and planets, it was very hard to find one. So this one is completely based with alcohol markers, even the background, everything. And then I used some water-based markers for the small detailing. So when the alcohol markers was a little bit too thick, like the, what is this, the rings around the planets. And then I used metallic paint on the hamster wheel, two colors, like a coppery one and a brownish red, because I had no idea what to do with it, so I made it a little bit shiny. And then I used paint markers, a blue and an orange and a white. Yes, okay, so the blue was to cover the lines on the planets, the orange for the orange planets, and some white for the shiny star elements in the background. If you are interested, there is a little video how I did the background, because there were a lot of swirly things. You get those a lot in the mythographic books. I will show you an example. Like over here, you have like those swirly bits. Those were on the page, and I made like a little bit of a starry background with it. So I will link the video in the top corner if you are interested. And then I shaded a little bit on top with some polychromos pencils. So that's it. Yeah, and then because I enjoy it so much, I started my Halloween page for October in this book, and it's this one. And again, it was, I had a reference picture from Pinterest, so this was it. And then I made this one, and I'm actually very happy how this turned out. I wanted to have it a moody effect, but because everything was so dark, I think the very colorful background really pops. So again, I based everything with alcohol markers. I used water-based markers as well for the little elements. Polychromos on top of that. I used a white acrylic pen for some extra detailing, like here on the butterflies. A little bit of highlighting, some extra detailing, a little bit of dotting in the background. The background is done with Neocolor tools, if I'm not mistaken. I used a glitter gel pen in gold. And I used a glitter gel pen. It was the Starry Jelly Roll Stardust on the spider webs to give it a little bit of shimmer. In real life, it's very sparkly, but on camera, it's a little bit hard to pick up. Yeah, I think that's it. I wrote down a white, a gold, and a brown. Where did I use a brown glitter gel pen? I even... Oh yeah, a little bit here on the... what is this, like the dress. So this frame is a little bit of a brown glitter gel pen. Okay, so this was my page in the Mythographic Artist Fold, the collector's edition. Then I did a page in Magical Woodland by Kate Pellerin, and this page I chose was on my wish list to color for the past 2 years, and I finally had the courage to do so. So this is completely based with alcohol markers. As you see, there was a lot of color on this page, so I just took a color palette and I went to town with it. And then I went on top of that with some soft pastels, like a light blue, a middle blue, and a dark blue, just to dull everything. And then I went on top of that with some polychromos pencils. If you want to see a video of the technique I used, I will put it in the top corner. I did one 1 or 2 years ago, and I use that technique all the time for pages that have a little bit of a dark scene with a light source or something. Very easy, so check it out. And I used acrylic paint pens in blue and white. So the blue is actually for some extra, how do you see it? For the glowing effect. So for masking the black lines. And the white was a little bit for the stars over here. And yeah, that's it actually. Not a lot of materials, and I really like the artwork in this book. I finished 3 pages in this book, but every time I'm coloring it, I'm not enjoying it. I don't know why. For me, I think I like a little bit of a thicker outlining. Every time I'm coloring something very delicate, I don't enjoy the process, because then I think I have to color it very pretty, and I like a little bit more of a bolder line work. But I always love my pages in this book, but I'm not enjoying the process. So this was one I'm very happy about as well. Same problem, didn't enjoy it, but I'm very happy I did this page. Okay, so this was one in Magical Woodland by Kate Pellerin. Then I did a page in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanes. This is a new book to me. I bought it because of Halloween time, and I really didn't have any Halloween pages anymore, and not the darker side of Halloween. And for some reason, I was in the mood for it, so I went for this one. And I picked the coloring page because there was a hashtag by Jordi Colors, and the theme was Cinderella, so this was the page I went for. And for the color palette, because it's a little bit unusual, I used the Scary Color Palette book by Joanna Stone. And the color palette I went for was the Ashen Deceiver. So this was a color palette, so I went for these colors pretty much for 90%. And then, sorry for the glare, I used Prismacolor pencils, and they're very waxy. And for the detailing, so like the base of the birds were like this muted teal. And then for the frame around the carriage was the burnt honey, just to give it a little bit of a pop. So if you use these color palette books, this is the main color palette, and if you want some elements to stand out a little bit, you can use the complementary colors. And I really like her books. I think I have 8 now, and you can buy them on Amazon, and you have some certain themes like Christmas, scary, creepy and spooky, autumn. You have some different color palettes, and you can scribble it down, but because yeah, I always do it on a separate piece of paper, but it's really handy, this one. So I'm going to use this book for the whole Kirby book. Why not? Okay, so 1 second. I used water-based markers for pretty much everything. So all the elements are based with water-based markers, and my water-based markers are fitted to these colors here. And then I went for some shading on top of that with darker colors. The background is done with coloring pencils, and the black is done with the water-based markers, and then I blended it in a little bit with Prismacolor. The only thing I based with Derwent Inktense was the ground, the dirt underneath the carriage, for some extra basing, because otherwise it was very streaky with water-based markers. And then I went on top of that with some Prismacolor pencils for the whole page, actually. It was a long time ago since I went for those pencils, and now I know why I don't like them as much. But yeah, they had some great orange shades in it, so yeah. And then the birds are based with the muted teal, and then I went on top of that with black. So it's just a hint of green in it. And yeah, that's it. No shine, no nothing. This is just coloring pencils and markers for basing. I'm very happy with this one. I wanted to do this one as well, but I just didn't have the time, and it was a very detailed page as well. So yeah, maybe next year. But this was my page in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanes, and it was the Scary Color Palette book by Joanna Stone. And then I did my page in October in this project book, Juwelenkistje by Hannah Carlson. And I went for this one. So this was also a body color with Veronica. I'm going to put her page here on the left. And when you compare the two pages, you see there is a lot of difference in line work. So I alternated this page to a Halloween page. So I added some elements, and I made a video of that if you are interested, again in the top corner. And then I printed out an inspiration sheet. So this was it. So this was my inspiration for the background. And then I made a video on how I did the background. So again, if you are interested. And yeah, and then I went for this color palette a little bit for all the rest. And I used water-based markers for basing, polychromos, Prismacolor pencils on top, because those pencils I was using and they were lying down with me, so I took those. And then I used a white paint pen for some detailing on the flowers and some highlights. I went for a silver glitter gel pen on the vase, and there was a Pentel hybrid dual metallic, like a black with a red glitter, and I used that one as well for some extra glitter on the page, like here on the butterfly a little bit. And then a black fine liner for some extra detailing on the vase. I used a jelly roll. It was like a pastel set or something, and that was the purple I used, and a little bit of on the dotting over here. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. and a gray paint pen. Oh yeah, I based this one with a gray paint pen. I went on top of that with pencil work. It isn't the best. If you look closely, you still see the lines underneath it. But if you look from afar, it really doesn't bother me. So yeah, this is my page. And for some reason, this one is doing very well on Instagram. So I thank you a lot for all the compliments. And I'm planning a page to do a background on this one and a little bit of an autumnal theme. I'm still figuring out what to do because I ripped the paper a little bit, so I hope my mediums will work. We will see. Okay, so this was my alternated Halloween page in Juwelenkistje by Heine Carlson. Then I decided to print out the Patreon page of Carla Magana because I am a huge fan. It was Carloween, so that actually means you have to color a certain page in one of her books. It doesn't really matter which one, and just put the hashtag Carloween on it. So because I am a fan, I did 3 pages. So this was the first one, the Patreon page. And I used a color palette, again, by Joanna Stone. It was a spooky Halloween color palettes and combinations for creepy coloring and horror drawings. And I went for this one, the Blood Red Candles. So this was the color palette, and these were the complementary colors. And I went for this result. So it was mainly alcohol markers. I don't use coloring pencils, so it was a lot of blending, trying. I used glitter gel pens, orange, gold, silver, especially on the clothing. Some glitter gel pens, and then I used a Tuli Art paint pen. Yeah, it was like a grayish one and an orange one. I tried to use some monochromatic highlighting instead of using a lot of white. And then I used a white Posca and a black fine liner. So the dotting is just a white paint pen. The start I added myself. This was a Jelly Roll Moonlight in green for outlining. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So this was Carloween 2025. Okay, so this was the Patreon page. And then I did 2 pages in Graveyard Girls by Carla Magana. And the first page I did was this one. And again, I used the color palette book, the spooky one by Joanna Stone. And this was my color palettes. So those were my main colors. And then I used some extra detailing in these colors. So again, alcohol markers, glitter gel pens, some Jelly Roll Moonlight, Tuli Art paint pens. Yeah, just the same as usual. And I tried a little bit of blending. I added the spider web in the background, so I just had fun with this one. Just a lot of shimmer and shine. I really like this one. And then the third page I did in Carla Magana's book was this one, and this was a body color with Kate. So I'm going to put her page on this side, and as you see, it's a completely different page depending on what you want to do with her illustrations. So I added a frame around it, and I used like a paint pen in black to add some extra detailing, the spiders and so on. I tried to blend a little bit with alcohol markers, and I put some glitter and some accents on top of it. I think I used like a yellow paint pen and a white, if I'm not mistaken. So this was very relaxing for me, again, for Carloween. This was my third page in Graveyard Girls by Carla Magana. And then I have one WIP in Dromenvanger by Thomas Leftomic. I'm coloring this page together with 3 other amazing women who wants to participate, and we're just picking a page and everybody is doing this page at his own speed, and at a certain point we all finish it together. So the only thing I did for this page is the background. So this was Neocolor 2s for basing, and I went on top of that with some Prismacolor pencils, if I'm not mistaken. So this is my inspiration sheet. So this is the colors I want to go for, like pinks, reds, and blues. And I saw some bugs over here. I'm going to make them a little bit glowy, maybe for some accents around the page. But this is the only thing I did, and some white acrylic paint marker to add in the stars again, because I went over them with the coloring pencil. Okay, so that's it. Those were my pages for the past 2 months. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.